It all began with a conversation I never expected to lead anywhere. One evening at dinner, my husband, with that familiar spark of curiosity and a playful gleam in his eyes, suggested an idea. Initially, I thought he was just joking around, as we often engaged in lighthearted banter, but there was something distinctly different in his gaze. It felt authentic. Leaning closer, he lowered his voice and made his intentions clear. "I want you to see me with 2 girls." My heart raced at that moment, caught off guard and uncertain about how to respond. This was far from anything I had ever imagined within our marriage. Yet, the way he expressed it, his tone so soft and laced with desire, made me stop and think. The proposal hung in the air, mixing excitement with anxiety swirling in my mind. Curiosity began to bubble up inside me. Despite my initial shock, as days went by, the thought began to take root, transforming into something more than a fleeting fantasy. My husband was patient, never pushing me, allowing me to grapple with the idea at my own pace. However, every time we brought it up, the fire in his eyes grew ever brighter, and I eventually found myself considering it from a new perspective. What would it feel like? Could this actually happen? More importantly, could I allow myself to embrace something so radically different and new? I began to daydream about the possibilities, envisioning scenarios in my mind that became increasingly vivid, each one sending my heart racing with anticipation. Though I never spoke it aloud, I was undeniably intrigued. A part of me also felt curious about witnessing my husband with someone else. Just the thought stirred something deep within me, awakening a longing I hadn't recognized before. So one evening, as we lay in bed together, I turned to him, my heart racing. With a gentle smile, I said, "Okay." His eyes widened in surprise, and for a fleeting moment, disbelief flickered across his face before giving way to pure, unfiltered excitement. We spent the next few nights discussing every detail, establishing boundaries to ensure we both felt comfortable. He mentioned 2 women he had met, both of whom were interested in the idea and open to joining us. I could hear the thrill in his voice, and oddly enough, it solidified my confidence in my decision. When the night finally came, nerves washed over me. My heart raced as I prepared, each touch of my hand against my skin feeling heightened. Anticipation bubbled inside me, yet a sense of calm had also settled within. I trusted him, and I knew we were embarking on this journey together, hand in hand. When the 2 women arrived, the room was softly illuminated. They were beautiful, confident, and graceful, greeting me with warmth. Their eyes, kind yet filled with an unspoken understanding of what was about to unfold, met mine. My husband stood beside me, his hand resting gently on my lower back, a silent reassurance that we were in this together. I could sense the excitement radiating from him, and it was clear this was something he had longed for. We chatted for a while, the 4 of us easing into the evening, allowing the tension to build slowly. There was no rush or pressure, just a mutual understanding that we would move forward at our own pace. The 2 women were delightful. Their laughter echoed in the room as we shared stories and sipped wine. I found myself relaxing in their company. The initial nerves faded, replaced by a quiet thrill that hummed just beneath the surface. Eventually, the conversation shifted, and the atmosphere subtly transformed as playful flirting commenced. My husband became the focal point of it all, his charm effortlessly captivating. As the 2 women leaned closer, their eyes fixed on him, I watched with a strange mix of emotions, excitement, curiosity, and something I couldn't quite identify. It wasn't jealousy, but rather something deeper. A sense of liberation, allowing him the freedom to explore this part of himself, and in turn discovering something new about myself. When the first kiss happened, it unfolded slowly and tentatively. One of the women leaned in, her lips brushing softly against his. I held my breath, captivated by the sight of my husband's hand gently cradling her face, their lips moving in a slow, deliberate rhythm. The other woman watched, her gaze flickering between them and me, as if assessing my reaction. But I couldn't look away. I was drawn in by the mesmerizing scene, sinking deeper with each moment. The kiss grew more passionate, more intense, and soon the second woman joined, her lips finding his as well. The 3 of them became fully immersed in the moment. I watched, feeling my own body responding, the heat rising in my chest and spreading lower with each passing second. My husband caught my eye for a brief moment, and in that instant I recognized it. His desire for me, his need for me to be a part of this, to witness everything. I edged closer, sitting on the bed's edge, my heart pounding as I observed them. His hands glided over their bodies, exploring and caressing in a slow, sensual rhythm. The tension in the room thickened, saturated with desire. The women kissed him deeply, their hands gliding over his chest and down his arms, their movements becoming more assured and insistent. Then one of them turned to me, her eyes locking onto mine. She offered a soft, inviting smile and reached out her hand without a second thought. I took her hand, allowing her to pull me closer until I was right in the middle of the moment. When her lips found mine, it was soft and gentle, a kiss that felt tender yet brimmed with promise. I let myself sink into it, relishing the warmth of her body against mine, and the delicate softness of her skin under my fingertips. The other woman leaned in too, her hand resting lightly on my thigh, her touch purposeful yet gentle. My husband watched us with his eyes darkened by desire, a silent witness to the way we intertwined, our lips and hands roaming each other's bodies. The intensity of his gaze sent electric shivers through me, heightening the thrill of the moment, reminding me that this was exactly what he had wanted. This was our shared agreement. As the evening unfolded, every kiss and caress escalated the tension to an almost unbearable degree. My husband's hands seemed to be everywhere at once, alternating between the two women and me, as we became entwined in a beautiful chaos of limbs and soft, breathy sighs. Each sensation overwhelmed me. Every touch sent delightful shivers racing down my spine, leaving me gasping for air. We took our time, deliberately savoring each moment, exploring every inch of skin, and delighting in the soft moans that slipped from our lips. The atmosphere thickened with intensity, and it felt as if time stood still, as if nothing existed beyond the confines of that room. My husband became the epicenter of this shared experience, his hands and lips weaving a tapestry of intimacy that was both electrifying and freeing. Then, as the night reached its climax, the built-up tension finally exploded. I gasped, my body trembling with release as I observed my husband with the two women, their bodies entwined in an exquisite dance, soft moans filling the air. It was a breathtaking scene, sensual and beautiful. For a moment I felt utterly weightless, completely absorbed in the joy of the experience. Afterward we lay together, our bodies still tangled, breaths flowing in soft, harmonious waves. My husband held me tightly, his arms enveloping me, his lips planting gentle kisses on my forehead. The two women settled beside us, their hands resting lightly on my skin, their presence a comforting warmth. I smiled, a deep sense of contentment washing over me. This was an experience I had never dreamed I would have, something I thought was beyond my reach. Yet, as I lay there in the afterglow, I realized I had unearthed something profound about myself, my husband, and our relationship. That night transcended mere physical intimacy. It was a journey that bonded us, deepening the connection we already shared. I felt vibrantly alive in a way I hadn't experienced in years. I understood that this was just the beginning of a beautiful exploration we could embark on together. As I drifted off to sleep, wrapped in my husband's arms, I felt a profound peace, aware that we had turned the page to a new chapter in our lives. One filled with adventure, possibility, and above all love. The two women who had played such an essential role in our experience remained close, their presence a gentle reminder of the extraordinary intimacy we had shared. My husband's arms continued to encircle me, his touch warm and reassuring. I could feel the rhythm of his heartbeat against my back, steady and comforting. Reaching out, I brushed my fingers against one of the women's arms. She turned to me, her eyes soft, filled with a quiet warmth that echoed my own feelings. I leaned in, pressing a tender kiss to her lips, feeling the warmth of her response. She smiled, her fingers trailing lightly down my arm, acknowledging the intimate bond we had formed. The other woman, equally graceful and gentle, drew nearer, her lips meeting mine in a kiss that was both tender and exploratory, a reflection of the connection we had cultivated. My husband's hands rested on both of us, guiding us with a loving touch that expressed his deep affection and desire. As we kissed, the atmosphere in the room grew warmer, charged with a palpable sense of love and longing. We began to explore one another's bodies with newfound freedom. Our kisses turned more passionate, our touches more intimate. There was no rush, no sense of urgency, just a slow, deliberate unfolding of desire and connection. My husband's hands moved gracefully among us, each touch imbued with a loving precision that made every caress feel like a treasured gift. He leaned in to kiss me, his lips lingering against mine, his breath warm and sweet. The women's hands roamed over my skin, their touches a blend of gentleness and confidence, their kisses trailing along my neck and shoulders, sending delightful shivers racing down my spine. Together we pressed closely, our bodies exploring every inch of each other with a shared sense of wonder. The kisses grew deeper and more intense as we surrendered to the moment. My husband's hands guided us all, his touch a mix of tenderness and authority, igniting a fire within me that blazed brighter with every heartbeat. The atmosphere was electric, filled with profound intimacy. Each kiss, each caress was a testament to the love and trust we had nurtured over the years. The air resonated with soft moans and whispered words of affection, as our bodies moved in a rhythm that felt both natural and exhilarating. As the night unfolded, we continued to explore one another, our connection deepening with every touch. The intensity of the moment surged to a crescendo, and we shared an experience that was both deeply personal and profoundly mutual. My husband's gaze remained locked on me, his eyes reflecting a blend of love and desire as he guided us through this intimate journey. As the night reached its peak, we found ourselves enveloped in a moment of perfect harmony, our bodies and souls intertwined in a shared release that left us breathless. Clinging to one another, our breaths mingled, and our forms became a tapestry of affection. A profound sense of tranquility and satisfaction filled the room, a silent acknowledgement of the deep bond we had forged in the gentle light of dawn. We lay there, our bodies still entwined, our hearts overflowing with the intimacy we had just experienced. My husband held me closely, his touch soothing, while the two women nestled beside us, their presence a gentle reminder of the beautiful adventure we had embarked on. I closed my eyes, allowing a wave of contentment to wash over me. This night had been more than a mere physical encounter. It was a journey of exploration, connection, and love. As we lay together, I realized we had turned a new page, a chapter filled with endless possibilities and shared experiences. The bond we had formed deepened with each passing moment, guided by an unspoken understanding that defined our interactions. Lost in the wonder of it all, every kiss and caress drew us closer, weaving us together in a tapestry of desire. My husband's hands roamed with both gentleness and purpose, tracing the contours of our bodies with a tenderness that spoke volumes of his affection. Each kiss was a delightful blend of passion and softness, lingering just a bit longer, igniting a warmth that spread like wildfire through me. The two women, fully engaged in this shared experience, mirrored the intensity of our connection. They moved with an elegant confidence, their hands and lips exploring with an infectious enthusiasm. Our kisses were slow and sensual, building a rhythm that resonated with the heartbeat of the night. We discovered one another's bodies with a sense of liberation, letting the boundaries we once held dissolve into shared intimacy. The warmth of the room wrapped around us like a comforting blanket, our breaths entwining in the dim light. Each kiss, every touch became a tribute to our deepening connection, a testament to the trust and love we had cultivated over the years. My husband's gaze met mine frequently, filled with satisfaction and adoration. His touches were soft yet laced with undeniable passion, each movement reflecting his desire to create lasting memories for us all. His hands glided over my skin, his kisses tracing a path from my lips to my neck, each caress leaving me breathless and yearning for more. The two women added their own magic to the experience, their touches tender and their kisses warm, weaving a dynamic of intimacy that felt exhilarating and nurturing all at once. Together we continued this dance of affection, moving in a rhythm that felt both unique and fulfilling. The kisses intensified, and our explorations became more daring as we surrendered to the freedom of the moment. There was no need for haste. Instead, we savored every second, indulging in a slow, deliberate exploration of one another's desires and fantasies. As the night wore on, the energy in the room shifted, growing electric, each pulse of passion building towards a powerful crescendo. Fully immersed in the experience, our connections deepened with every caress, the physical intimacy intertwining with emotional closeness that heightened the significance of the moment. When we finally reached the apex of our shared experience, the sense of unity and fulfillment enveloped us like a warm embrace. We held one another tightly, our bodies intertwined in a cocoon of love. The room fell silent, filled with a peaceful calm that echoed the depth of our shared connection. We lingered in that embrace, our breaths gradually settling into a steady rhythm. The softness of the sheets and the warmth of our bodies formed a sanctuary of intimacy that felt both reassuring and serene. My husband's arms enveloped me, his touch gentle and calming, while the two women rested beside us, their presence a comforting reminder of the unforgettable journey we had embarked upon. As the night transitioned into the soft light of morning, we remained together, our hearts brimming with the love and connection we had forged. The sense of adventure and exploration had drawn us closer, deepening our bond in ways I had never thought possible. I felt an overwhelming peace and satisfaction, recognizing that this experience had marked a new chapter in our lives, one overflowing with love, trust, and mutual respect. We had shared something truly extraordinary, an experience that would remain a treasured memory in our hearts. As sleep beckoned, wrapped in one another's embrace, I knew that the love we had discovered would continue to blossom, nurturing our connection and guiding us through the adventures that awaited us.